Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The voting season is coming up in November in 2024, and there are many people who are going to be voting, right? Millions and millions of people will be voting, and a lot of Muslims will be voting as well. Your vote does count, but the process by which votes are translated into political power in the US involves a few steps that can be complex. There is electoral college system, which basically means the US uses electoral college system to elect the president. Each state has a certain number of electors based on its total number of senators and representatives in Congress. There are 538 electors in total, and majority of 270 electoral votes is required to win the presidency. The big question that many people have is, why do people vote for the president of the United States when the electoral votes trumps people's votes? I hope that makes sense. So the popular votes, this is the total number of votes uh, casted by individuals, voters across the country. Each person's vote counts equally in their state. Electoral votes. Each state's electoral votes are determined by the state's popular vote. The most state uses a winner takes all system except Maine and Nebraska. This means the candidate who wins the most votes in a state generally receives all of the state's electoral votes. When Hillary Clinton was running for president, she won the popular vote. Okay, she was running against Donald Trump, and Hillary Clinton received approximately 2.9 million more votes than Donald Trump nationwide. The electoral vote, despite losing the popular vote, Donald Trump won the presidency by securing more electoral vote. He received 304 electoral votes compared to Clinton's 227. So Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but Donald Trump won the electoral vote. So all the people who voted for Hillary Clinton, basically their votes did not count. Basically their votes did not count, and electoral vote counted and gave the Trump the presidency. So let's talk about this guy here. Barack Obama was the 44th president of the United States. He served 2 terms. And let's talk about some of his actions, some of the things that he said that he accomplished. Let's focus on that real quick. So, Obama inherited ongoing conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. He continued military operations and escalated drone strikes in the Middle East. Here is just few facts about Barack Obama's drone strikes and attacks on Middle East. Let me go back a notch real quick. I just wanted to mention a point. When Barack Obama was running for president, I remember many Muslims were so excited that we have Barack Hussein Obama, the first black president. He is going to do the right thing. He's gonna make changes in the Middle East. And as far as I remember, most of the Muslims in the US voted for him. However, this is what he did. First drone strike. He approved and authorized thousands of drone strikes in the Middle East, including Afghanistan and Pakistan. So the first drone strike was in January 2009. A drone strike killed a number of people, estimated three deaths for the first attack. And this happened in a rural area in Pakistan. The second drone strike that Obama authorized was in Yemen, which involved several strikes during his administration. As of December 2009, he authorized, and there were 777 total deaths, including innocents and children. This is from the drone attacks that was authorized by Barack Obama. And the third major operation in 2011, intervention in Libya. This is not really drone focused, but some European countries, including the US, terminated the leader of Libya and overthrow his presidency and give the power to some other groups. And there's some other politics related to that, which is, we need to discuss in different video. Basically, the leader of Libya at that time, Muammar Gaddafi, he wanted to start and initiate an African currency. And he didn't want to use the US dollars and the euros, and he wanted to start his own currency, and the West were against that. And they said the only way to fix that problem is by just terminating him, and that's exactly what they did. Total number of attacks and casualties. Casualties, innocent people. Drone strikes estimated suggest that thousands of drone strikes occurred during Obama's presidency. In Pakistan alone, there were about 300 drone strikes from 2009 to 2016. Casualty estimates vary, with thousands of people reported killed, including both militants and civilians. And of course, there are a lot of children and women as well. Overall casualties estimations from different sources suggest that thousands of civilians casualties occur due to drone strikes and military operation. Based on the research, there are 7,966 total deaths, including civilian and children. These are the drones that were authorized by Barack Obama, which most of the Muslims voted for at that time. So this is regarding the figures and the cost of the drone attacks and the war and everything like that. We're not going to go in details about this because this is not our focus. Our focus is to find out how many different drone attacks Barack Obama authorized and how many deaths he caused. And here are a few stats. So for Pakistan, there were around 373 drone attacks. In Yemen, 178. In Somalia, 39. And in Afghanistan, 1,307. Total people died from the drone attacks that were authorized by Barack Obama. In Pakistan, 3,400, 3,406. In Yemen, 1,075. In Somalia, 454, and in Afghanistan, 3,031. And civilians reported killed 634 in Pakistan, 161 in Yemen, 12 in Somalia, and 182 in Afghanistan. The point I'm trying to make is even though the target were terrorist groups in these areas, but most of the people who died were civilians who had nothing to do with war, politics, or anything like that. The point I'm trying to make here is we voted for many people, we as Muslims voted for Barack Obama. Many Muslims voted for Barack Obama, and this is what he did. And now we are in voting season. In November, all Americans who are eligible to vote will vote, who are registered to vote will vote. My concern is that whoever you're going to vote for, what are they going to do next? It seems like every single president that we vote for, their main focus is to somehow initiate war and initiate attacks and stuff like that in the Middle East, by their explanation and justification, is that they are getting rid of terrorists. And the true fact is that many of the people who struggle and suffer are the civilians, are the innocent people, the children and the women who have nothing to do with war. They're the one who die, they're the one who get injured, their lives get destroyed. And simply because we are supporting and voting for these people, after they gain their presidency, they are going to come up with justifications and excuses to cause harm and kill innocent people. The point I'm trying to make is, if you support and vote for the next president, I mean, it is your right as an American Muslim, but you have to be really cautious of what they're going to do. You have to be really mindful of what they're going to do. And later on, we're going to regret, just like we did with Barack Obama when we all voted for him. And this is all the deaths that he caused, killing thousands of innocent people from his drone attacks. We don't want to repeat the same mistakes again and vote for somebody who's going to do the same thing even worse. And Allahu A'lam, we even might partake in some of the dhunub, some of the sins, because we supported them, we aided them, we voted for them. So we might even partake in some of the sins for killing all these innocent people. So be mindful, when you're going to vote. Just remember that Allah is going to question you, and you might be the reason why that president became president because of your vote, if your vote counts, that is. And just prepare to answer some of the tough questions that you'll be asked.